Our healthcare practice recognizes and takes full advantage of the paradigm shift in the delivery of healthcare in the U.S., for which we have crafted ad hoc investment strategies, development structures, and third-party services. The healthcare industry has become extremely competitive, forcing providers to innovate and become patient-centric. The key to success is the provider's ability to deliver quality care at a lower cost, navigate through the coding and reimbursement labyrinths, and most importantly, capture market share by engaging and reaching out to the consumer. Until recently, the hospital was the center of all healthcare delivery because it proved more convenient for physicians, but it was rarely the best option from the patient's standpoint. The obsolescence of many hospitals also stems from the advances in technology. Complex procedures are now being carried out safely in cost-effective, less prone to iatrogenic ambulatory surgery centers or state-of-the-art surgical rooms at physician offices. Also, legal requirements such as certificate of needs too often serve as highly protective moats limiting competition. Acute care medical centers can now bypass these legal barriers and expand their reach, penetrating deeply inside the territory of competitors through emergency departments and urgent care centers, the modern healthcare Trojan horses. To acquire new patients and successfully compete, many providers of care, such as hospitals, specialty medical centers, and large multi-specialty physician groups, are choosing retail settings for the following reasons. Convenience. A retail setting provides for greater proximity, visibility, and accessibility. No use restriction. On-campus facilities are plagued with use restrictions, such as imaging or laboratory. The assault on reimbursements forces providers to find alternative sources of revenue and therefore expand their value propositions. Restrictions are no longer acceptable and crucial weaknesses of all on-campus real estate. Speed to market and lower capex. The reduced footprint, lower cost of land and construction basis, less complex infrastructure, and reduced capital commitments are all great incentives and advantages of retail settings. It fits with new psychographics, reduced commute for doctors and patients. Certain specific practices or subspecialties might find an advantage in being located within an existing retail center among non-medical retailers, as they will feed from the existing traffic. Dialysis showed early as a prime candidate. DaVita calls for 6,000 to 15,000 square feet with as many as 20 patient beds. Pediatric associates and other pediatricians typically use 6,000 square feet end cap or out parcels in centers anchored by Publix. Miami Children's Hospital opens 40,000 square feet big boxes exclusively in large retail centers. Retail clinics by the likes of CVS, Caremark. 100% dedicated medical malls are nonetheless the future of healthcare delivery, as they exhibit numerous and incomparable advantages for most healthcare providers. Synergetic value. 100% medical mall allows large providers to offer patients with a one-stop shop healthcare center, from primary care physicians to specialists to possible surgery centers, pharmacy, rehab, and home health products, creating synergies and boasting cross-fertilizations and referrals among the diverse medical specialties. Better consumer experience with reduced risk of infections. Cost-effective care in low copay environment. Institutional milieu. Mixed medical malls and the association with non-medical retail users, i.e. dry cleaning, auto parts, home furnishing, etc., can be a strong deterrent to many healthcare providers. Stronger image and brand recognition. From a real estate investment and landlord standpoint, medical malls are very appealing. Lower cost of construction, one-story structures, easier to develop or reposition in phases. Greater pre-leasing possibility with possible partial forward takeout options. high base rent on triple net structure, long-term commitment, 10, 15, 20 years, high credit tenants and personal guarantees. Specialties have very different payer mix, private, public, out-of-pocket, etc., mitigating risk. Lower concessions, MD's preferred tenant improvement dollars over free rent. It is interesting to note that most of these successful malls have been developed by users themselves. They are structured by multiple specialty medical practices coming together or anchored by large multi-specialty practices covering the whole spectrum of care. Examples are California-based Kaiser Permanente decided to buy a one-story 32,000 square foot building that had been occupied by now defunct electronics retailer. Florida Medical Clinic in Zephyrhills, Florida. From a development and investment standpoint, the success of the medical mall is knowledge and relationship driven. To that effect, Flagler Investment Healthcare leverages its consulting and brokerage expertise and its cutting-edge information technology to joint venture with hospitals and large physician groups to generate great opportunities. Flagler Investment has been extremely successful in designing and managing medical malls with tenant mixes that create the right synergies, primary care physicians, specialists, and also support activities, home health, gym, pharmacy. Our most recent such project, Bethesda Health City, a 133,000 square foot medical mall located in Boynton Beach, Florida, and recently sold to Healthcare REIT, was an absolute success for Flagler and its equity partner, Investcorp. The project is 97% leased and includes more than 30 specialties and primary care physicians. As mentioned, Flagler Investment's competitive advantage is rooted in its information technology and knowledge base expertise. This strategic capability feeds our value propositions for both investments and third-party services such as tenant and landlord representation. It has allowed Flagler to become the partner and/or exclusive advisors to many prestigious medical groups in Florida, such as Tenet Health, HCA, Memorial Health, Bethesda Health Systems, Pediatric Associates, and many others. To showcase our proprietary information technology, we will use a live case study. It is in fact our next large-scale medical mall project located in Clearwater, Florida, where Flagler Investment recently put under contract a 10-acre tract of land with a 100,000 square foot vacant structure formerly used by Kmart and Sears, located at 2100 Gulf to Bay. Our goal is to repurpose it in two phases. The first phase is 120,000 square feet with 60,000 square foot standalone state-of-the-art orthopedic center that will include a 14,000 square foot surgery center.